We're here with Bears Chairman George McCaskey. George, you had an eventful first year, and a lot of things happened in your first year, including a change in the front office. How would you assess that first year as far as how it went for you and also how it went for the team?
Well, the first year was dissatisfying overall because we finished 8-8. We didn't make the playoffs, and that's the goal every year, is to get in the playoffs so you can win the Super Bowl. We like what we've seen so far from Phil Emery. We think he's doing a great job leading our football operation, and we have high expectations for 2012.
You've been asked this before, but since we're talking to you today, it's your first year, but the reasons behind the change, to change the front office, what process did you go through as far as coming to that decision, and how did that affect you personally?
Ted and I talked about it, and I told him, of course, that it's his decision and that I would support him either way. But we both felt that a change needed to be made, and Phil's come in and done a great job.
You talk about your first season. What did you learn kind of on the field and off the field, being directly the chairman of the team, taking that position?
The thing that's impressed me the most in the last year is being reminded on almost a daily basis of how important the Bears are to people. People would come up to me and say, you guys got to do it this year. You know, 1 million people have told me, I'm your biggest fan. And it's great to see. It's a big responsibility. The Bears are important to people, important to the greatest city in the world, and people expect results in that situation.
Well, what kind of things did you were there things that surprised you about the position, that, you know, that the things that you learned that stand out? I mean, because it's a huge responsibility, and with any job, I imagine there's a learning curve.
Well, when I became chairman, John McDonough of the Blackhawks gave me some advice. He said less is more, and his point was that the game is really about the players, and people don't want to see ownership putting itself out in front all the time.
So you decided that obviously you want Phil and Ted to be the public face of the franchise, but you have been public, you've been out there. I mean, how have you decided to use your position as far as being chairman in the Bears, as far as representing the Bears to the public?
Well, I don't want to hide, but I don't want to be putting myself out in front. So I guess one of the challenges is finding the proper balance. But the spotlight always, in my opinion, should be on the players. They're world-class athletes. They're tremendous competitors. They are the ones that represent the city of Chicago.
What about from a behind-the-scenes standpoint? What stood out as far as taking this responsibility? What things did you learn from that standpoint? Anything stand out in that regard?
Probably the most important thing, and it wasn't any great insight, it was just a reminder of how important teamwork is, how you need to have everybody on the same page, everybody rowing in the same direction. It's a cliche, but the individual has to be secondary to the team.